All right, so my name is Aaron Kaufman. I'm the Senior Social Media Manager and Marketing Producer at Santa Monica Studio. I also oversee our licensing as well for God of War with our all of our partners. And really the main effort of my role is to be the conduit between the fans and the game. And I also serve as the conduit between all of our marketing and PR teams with our studio. So I'm there in the weeds every single day with our team, with the leads from Corey Barlock, who's our creative director, to Shannon Studstill, who's our head of studio. And it's my job to basically work on the strategy and the ideas that come our way from all of our teams, work with Corey and the team to make sure that they are staying on brand, that they're living up to our vision, our creativity of the game, and help keep things on track. Quite a while ago, when we were thinking about the name, there was definitely discussion at length about should we call this God of War, Travel to Norseland, a subtitle, right? And there was brief talk about calling it God of War 4, but I think we all really felt very confident in wanting to essentially kind of signify a new era of God of War by just calling it God of War. To us, keeping it the name just that signifies first time on PlayStation 4, going into the Norse era. And really, for someone who hasn't played a God of War game before, I think that name alone helps tell them, you know what, you don't need to have played God of War 1, 2, 3, Ascension, Chains of Olympus, and Ghosts of Sparta to play our new game. This game is very accessible, whether you're a new God of War fan, or an old God of War fan, or someone who's never played the God of War game ever. And the name on its own really is the reason for that. So we're not really putting a number on kind of where we're taking the franchise, but I think God of War is the game that built Santa Monica Studio for the last 10 to 12 years. And the fact that we are starting a new beginning and just calling it God of War and taking it into the Norse mythology, I think any common sense person would be able to know that this is the beginning of a new era. Whether there's a sequel, a trilogy, wherever we go, is not something that we're getting into just yet. But this is the beginning of a relationship between Kratos and his son Atreus, and we're super excited for fans to experience that now. Well, the main theme of this game is definitely not vengeance. There's nothing in this game that is about vengeance. I wouldn't put the term parenthood on this game. I think what I would put on this game is growth. Is seeing a father and his son grow together to be better people in their own right. Kratos is trying to teach Atreus how to be a god. He is scared shitless that he has passed this disease of rage onto Atreus. And Atreus doesn't know that he has it. We, the viewer, know that. But Atreus, on the other hand, he sees a man in his father who has been a distant father, who has been someone that hasn't always been there. He doesn't really know about Kratos' past. He doesn't even know he's a god. He might have hints about it, he might have thoughts about it, but in the game, that moment happens. And really that kind of opens things up. And really, I say growth because we're seeing a character in Kratos evolve. We're seeing him grow from being this vengeful, raging god to a man that's trying to discover his humanity. We're seeing growth in Atreus, who's going from being a young boy who was taught by his mother how to hunt with a bow to become a warrior as he progresses on this journey to killing trolls and draugrs and some of the most dangerous beasts that are known to mankind on this planet. And I think that all comes back to growth in the sense of how their relationship, their bond grows together. And that's, to me, personally, that's really what this game is about. Well, there's a number of new allies that you might have experienced already. So Brock and Sindri, they're the Norse dwarves who are the creators of Mjolnir and Thor's hammer, and they are pulled right out of Norse mythology. They're the ones that created the Leviathan axe, which is Kratos' new weapon, and they are your weaponsmith allies. They're the ones that you go to upgrade. There's also the potential of an ally in a very big serpent called the World Serpent that you saw at the end of our E3 trailer, where Atreus says he wants to be our friend. And there's even the Witch in the Woods that you'll come to connect with as you play the game more, who appears to be an ally for Kratos and Atreus as well. There's even Mimir, the head that you see on the side of his belt, whose backstory and purpose in the game you'll learn more about when you play, but he as well appears to be an ally. So there are friends that they make in this world, but how friendly they are, what their true intentions and their nature is something you'll uncover in the game. And then there's certainly enemies, plenty of them. I think Kratos wants to do everything he possibly can to make Atreus a better man than he ever was, and to become a warrior. Where Atreus grows is something that we're not ready to share with the player. But what's really important for this game is how Atreus grows, who he becomes by the time that they reach their destination. So Atreus, the origin of his name, has meaning. It does relate to Greek mythology. There's a kind of an interesting backstory there, why Kratos named him Atreus, and you'll learn that in the game. Atreus like Kratos, was not a real character in Norse mythology. Kratos was created by us at Santa Monica Studio. But we posit that these two characters truly existed in our Norse mythology. We're actually doing this campaign called The Lost Pages, where we suggest, hey, what if Kratos and Atreus really did exist? And these are the pages that have been lost in the Norse Prose Edda to kind of tell their story. Atreus will play a very big role in this game and in this journey, and he will have an impact on the world around him and the Norse universe that we've created. So we're not going into great detail as far as what realms you go to, but the notion of the 9 realms do exist in our universe, and you will visit quite a few of them. There is a single ending to this game, and I think we've gone on record stating that this game has a very specific story to tell, and we know what it is, we know where it wants to end, and we're not creating a game where you're going to have to play it through multiple times to get different endings. All the mythologies coexist at the same time. You have the Mayans over here, the Egyptians down here, the Greeks over here, the Hindu over here. And that enables us to take God of War in a lot of different directions in the future. But right now, we are laser focused on Norse. We just got there. It took 7 God of War games, give or take, to get to Norse mythology. And whether or not we take 7 more God of War games to get to a different mythology, who knows? But I think we're excited about staying in Norse mythology for a good amount of time and seeing where we go. Well, God of War has always been a third-person perspective. It's just we had the camera that was fixed. I think what inspired us about changing the camera was a couple things. One, we wanted to bring you closer to the action. We wanted to make it much more intense and feel gritty and feel visceral, and just there's something incredible about taking that axe and swinging it and feeling the Draugr right in your face. And the second reason is we wanted the player to experience this journey through Kratos' eyes. It's not a first-person view by any means, but we've created such a fantastic world that we wanted to give you the ability to look up, down, left, right, whenever you want, as if you're there with Kratos and Atreus right there walking the Norse wildlands at the same time. The weapon system in God of War is really awesome. So it was very important to us from the get-go to not give the player a whole different array of weapons, but instead treat the axe and the bow and the shield and even rage mode as weapons in and of themselves, as characters in and of themselves, so that every time you upgrade your axe and gain new abilities and skills, you would feel like you're getting a new weapon. We wanted to put the most amazing quality and design and art and everything we possibly could into those two weapons, because they are connected to Kratos and Atreus like characters themselves. If we just give you other weapons for the sake of it, we're doing the story of our game an injustice. We're doing the combat design of our game an injustice. Everything has a rhyme and reason, and the weapon system really speaks to that. Right. Well, I think we wanted it to feel like, you know, as a father, you always want to protect your child, and so that moment where Atreus is about to die, you know, to go and save him real quick was something that was very important to us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey guys, if you like our content, do like and follow our page. Also, select See First to get the latest game news and updates. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and select on the notify button to get notified to our latest gameplay trailers. Don't miss out.